where'd you find this?
Use the force, Luke.
Wow! What do you mean by saying that montage was not useful at all? Really? Really? That was the most MLG thing I've ever seen. Come on. Okay. I guess I'll do a more detailed explanation for you rebel scum. Enough with the MLG shenanigans and let's talk about flying. Now, I'm not the greatest pilot in Battlefront, but I've seen that many of the videos out there do not explain in detail how to use spaceships. In fact, many of them are just a recap of your key bindings as a vehicle. For this video I will assume that you know the basics of flying, like how to shoot your missiles and how to perform an evasive maneuver, and I'll take a more strategic approach. Let's start from a simple but very common 1 versus 1 situation. Let's say you see a bad guy flying in your direction. Chances are he's going full kamikaze on you. And you can't just fly straight hoping to kill him in time. Also, you can't turn around because he will just shoot you down. So in this scenario, what I usually do is try to dodge him, after that immediately slow my speed down and get on his back. If you succeed and there is no one to help him, you just need to stay on his tail and eventually you will kill him. If you're having a hard time shooting him, I suggest to stop the lock-on for a few seconds. Most of the time he will think that you're gone and maybe slow down. That's when you get him. Sometimes you'll have to deal with one or more players who are capable of flying. In this case, there are essentially two key factors that can decide the outcome of a battle. One is your skill as a pilot, and two is your knowledge of the ships involved in the fight. To be a good pilot, you need to always have a good idea of your surroundings. You need to know how many people are in the sky and, more importantly, where they are. Your radar and the sound of enemy ships are the main tools you have to guess the enemy position. For instance, if I'm the only one in my team in the skies and I hear the sound of a ship, I know for sure that some bad guy just passed me over and I immediately turn around to catch him. Don't forget to use the terrain to your advantage. If you have low HPs, you can take cover behind mountains and expose yourself as little as possible. Notice how I slow down my speed and wait the enemy in this corridor. By doing this, I am not as exposed as I would be in the open sky. Also, he cannot just dive into the canyon and get on my back at that speed, so he is forced to take a large turn, leaving himself open to my attacks.
Surprise, motherfucker!
When you're attacking ground units, it's usually best to use a hit-and-run tactic, so that you break line of sight with the enemy torpedoes. Graveyard of Giants is one of my favorite maps to do that, just because it's so easy to hide behind the crashed vessel in the center. If I'm playing as a rebel, I usually activate my shields every time I begin my attack, especially if there are ATSTs on the ground. Otherwise, if I'm on the Imperial side, I use my speed boost immediately after I'm done, to quickly return in position and start another attack run. Unless the enemies are all in one place, doing 1 or 2 kills every time is fine, so please don't crash your ship into a mountain just to get one more kill. One last tip for the rebel scum. While you're playing as a X-Wing or A-Wing, you can deal an insane amount of damage to the walkers. Not everyone knows this, but if you shoot the AT-AT's neck, it will do more damage, just as if you were shooting him in the belly. Also remember that the lesser your speed, the greater your damage is.
We need to do something about that walker. It's about to target our transport.
Last but not least, the snowspeeder. This little guy can turn the tide of a battle, but he's extremely fragile and slow, so don't even try to use this against TIE fighters or interceptors, that's a bad idea. So what I suggest is stay out of trouble until you can try the cable takedown. Fly in the outskirts of the map and use your third ability to avoid the enemy's attention. Just before starting the cable takedown, use once again your third ability. At the very least you won't get interrupted by torpedoes or missiles. That's all folks, if you liked the video leave a like and subscribe, I'll see you rebel scum in the next episode.